What's up, guys? Gunn here. Time to talk about running backs for NFL Week 2, specifically on Draftkings.com. Man, I hope you guys are cruising, man. I hope you guys have the greatest day, the greatest week. If you guys didn't catch the quarterback video, we're doing a giveaway on this channel. I don't want to go into the big speech on why, but hey, basically, we're trying to shake up the YouTube algorithm, let them know we're back. And the only way to do that is through views and video interaction. So I need you guys to help me with some thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and leave a comment. In this video specifically, let me know who you like at running back. Maybe you disagree with somebody I'm about to mention. Let me know. It's all love here. It's all about debate. Iron sharpens iron. And every video that we have this week, everyone who leaves a comment, interacts, each video that you comment on will be worth one entry into a drawing. And during next week's videos, probably on Monday morning, we'll do a drawing for a $25 PayPal giveaway or a RunDFS.com VIP Week Pass. Your choice. And of course, if you guys are not familiar with the VIP Pass, that's essentially how you can unlock my research spreadsheets for all the sports I cover: baseball, NFL, NBA. It contains my game notes. You guys can get a really good idea on my game notes by looking at the NFL Week 1 review video that we put up yesterday. And then, of course, my picks, my tiers, my personal player pool, my favorite tournament groups and stacks and all that good stuff. And if you guys don't win it, you can get it just by putting out a couple bucks for a VIP pass. And if you're a current VIP subscriber, you're eligible to play this contest too. You can either cash out the $25 or we'll just add a week onto your subscription. So help me, help you, help me. Leave a comment. Today we're going to talk about quarterbacks and running backs in this video. Lots of top end running backs to talk about. You get Saquon at home versus a stout Bills defense. Ezekiel Elliott on the road in a division rival matchup against the Redskins defense. And then my favorite guy to go up and get this week, Alvin Kamara. We'll start with him. I usually don't like to go at the high price guys, but this guy, I'm not passing up, man. Alvin Kamara, 8,200. Looked really good on Monday Night Football last night. Saints dropped a 30 bomb at home. That's what they do. And they'll be on the road against the Rams, and we know the Rams and Saints has a lot of volatility to explode. That's a giant stick of dynamite. Alvin Kamara saw 13 rushing attempts for almost 100 yards and had 8 targets. So my man had basically 170 all-purpose yards. Was highly involved. Only got one or no trips to the end zone there. Did get kind of vultured by Latavius Murray, but not really, because my man ran for like a 20-yard touchdown. Is what it is. So give me some Alvin Kamara, man. I think if this game's going to be a slugfest, I'm going after it. Last year, the Rams were 4th in DVOA against the pass catching running backs, but Christian McCaffrey showed you last week that, hey, doesn't matter. Volume and talent is going to be enough for me to be a buyer in Kamara here. I think if that game's going to shoot out, and I think it very likely can, I'm on it. And I know it's outside. Saints are not in the dome. It is what it is. But Alvin Kamara is going to be a piece for me this weekend at $8,200. Give me mid-20s if you can, but I do think the upside for more is certainly there. Last year, 22.1 fantasy points against the Rams in the playoffs. That's with Mark Ingram. And then in Week 9, 33.6 fantasy points, and that's it. So I think he showed that he can do it well last year. I think this week he'll have to be fully locked and loaded for the Saints to win that tough game on the road. Remember, the Rams are a high-octane offense. They can drop a 30 bomb themselves here. So give me some Alvin Kamara, and then I'm going to let you guys mess with the top of the salary structure for running backs. You know, I just hate to be the guy that touts the high-price running backs. Like, I just feel like it insults intelligence, so I try to keep it to a minimum, but I got to have some Kamara this week. Let's move on to a couple more running backs that are maybe a little less obvious. Let's go down to $6,800. How about Mr. James Conner? Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers played Sunday Night Football and put up a stinker at Foxborough. Between you and me, I expected that. They tend to just really, really get put down in Foxborough. Lots of allegations from Mike Tomlin over the years about stuff that happens. I know that we've heard about radios and communication devices going out. Whatever, bro. But generally speaking, I just kind of expected the Patriots to be really prepared for their first game. $6,800 for James Conner here. I'm a buyer. I really am. I think the Steelers at home, they average almost another possession, another touchdown a game. I think they'll be ready to play the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks defense did not look great against Andy Dalton. Surrendered over 400 yards passing last week. So I'm pretty happy to maybe go grab some of these Steelers that might get shadowed by maybe some of the Patriots. James Conner, 10 rushing attempts, 4 targets last week. It was just a rough day overall for the Steelers, but I'm confident they'll bounce back. He was $7,300 on Sunday Night Football. I think $6,800 is a nice discount from that, $500 decrease in price. And I'll take my chances here for a heavily involved guy like James Conner to be a pivotal part of this game. I know the Seahawks led the league last year in run percentage, and in week 1 we saw Chris Carson get plenty of work. I don't think they'll dictate the pace in this one. I think the Steelers try to come out firing. I think Juju Smith-Schuster gets more involved, and Pittsburgh puts some points up, so I think Russell Wilson will have to kind of keep them in this game. So I like James Conner. Under 7K, I think potential for 20-plus fantasy points is there, and I'm not worried about his work role. I know week 1 didn't have a whole lot of carries, but it was an ugly game from start to finish. So give me some Conner here, mid-tier running back, and then the other guy I want to talk about is one that I'm a little bit on the edge about. But I think his price is something that's too cheap for me not to like it. And I feel that way with pretty much the whole Raiders team. It's Josh Jacobs. He's $4,700. This guy showed last night that he's going to be the workhorse running back for the Oakland Raiders. Ran the ball 23 times, 85 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Had 1 target, but he caught and shoot that for 28 yards. This week, the Raiders face the Chiefs. I don't want to get put in a position that I was last week because I was very high on Leonard Fournette as a heavily involved running back. I'm still, on the edge. I did the Week 1 review video on using him as a 70%er. Regret it, but the Chiefs are likely going to have a pretty sizable lead. So I'm not going to bank on 20-plus carries. But if he can get 15-plus carries, Leonard Fournette was averaging like 5 yards a carry in that Chiefs game. And then if we can see him a little bit more involved in the passing game, I'd be excited for that. I will say Jalen Richard's kind of one of those weapons and that type of game script. But I am thinking that John Gruden gives Jacobs at least a couple of chances to catch some balls and see what he can do. So not someone I'm locking in, but at this price, I feel like the opportunity cost is still really, really great. I feel like if last night's game happens before this week's pricing is released, Josh Jacobs could be $55 to $600, and I think that there's still some value here to where if he got 70 yards, a touchdown, and a couple passes, I would be okay because that would at least leave me some money to maybe go spend up at wide receiver. A lot of studs on the slate: Hopkins, Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, Juju Smith, Amari Cooper even. Lots of big names to go pay up for. You're probably also going to hear a lot of Sammy Watkins. So people, if you want to go fit in that 7K guy, go for it. So those are 3 running backs I'm keeping my eye on. Again, Alvin Kamara, I love. All these other guys will be perfectly logical. Dalvin Cook had a whole lot of usage in week 1. This one's a little bit tougher on the road at Green Bay. That Vikings defense is something I'm expecting them to be much better, but much better at home. On the road at Lambeau is a little bit tougher, so maybe Dalvin Cook boost his pass game involvement a little bit more here. David Johnson again on the road outside against the Ravens. Something I'm curious with that air raid Cardinals offense, super fast. threw the ball a whole lot. We saw David Johnson look like a David Johnson, have a type of game that we saw, 2-3 seasons ago under Bruce Arians. So 7,100. Wouldn't hate you if you took a shot on him. Past that, middle guys. Austin Eckler might be trendy after his huge touchdown influence game. Multiple touchdowns, 3, I think. Last week, probably drives a lot of ownership towards him. Some guys you want to keep an eye on. Joe Mixon, injured. We'll see if he plays. If he doesn't, Gio Bernard at 5,300 might be someone you can put in your back pocket as either a value play in fantasy or a guy in season long. But even then, look at it, 5,300, more expensive than Josh Jacobs. So give me some Josh Jacobs for sure. James Conner, I'm digging. Now, James Conner, I might reserve the right to change my mind later in the week to maybe like someone else in that price range. But I'm trying to think of how to approach this week with a little bit more of a contrarian flavor. I really think, as it stands today, Tuesday, that this week's going to be all about jamming in Patriots. And we'll see if that stands to be true as ownership projections come out and are tightened and tweaked throughout the weekend. But the 3 guys that I'm highlighting as of today, Alvin Kamara, James Conner, and Josh Jacobs. Let me know who you guys are digging this early in the comments below. We might come back later this week with a revision video to kind of update where I'm at on all these position players. Comments below. $25 PayPal giveaway next Monday in our Week 2 review video. All you got to do, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell. Every comment on every video is going to be worth 1 entry into the giveaway. I love you guys. If you guys got anything else for me, that's going to be twitter.com/Gundacker Dig it. Why did I do that? I don't know. Love you guys. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.